Welcome to Pathways to Success, where we aim to build and encourage diversity among health professionals. Through casual conversations with trainees and professionals, our goal is to support the social and emotional well being of aspiring doctors of color. Here, you can get tips on writing personal statements, interviewing, networking, school selections, and much more. Join us as we inspire and nurture the next generation of Black doctors.
Hello everyone. Welcome to Pathways to Success, a programming from the Austin Black Physicians Association. I am Dr. Chinwe Freebay, and I have a lovely co-host who's going to introduce herself.
My name is Grace, and I'm a third-year pharmacy student.
Awesome. So, Austin Black Physicians Association has two missions. First is to reduce health disparities in our community by educating and empowering our members. And two, to inspire and nurture the next generation of Black doctors. Some of you may already be aware of some of the activities and services that our organization provides. In the past, we have facilitated or attended career fairs for students in middle school and high school programs. We've also been part of the Conversations with Black Doctors, which you can catch on our website, where we try to shed light on certain health topics that are affecting the African American community. We've also been part of community COVID vaccination drives, where we're trying to decrease the burden that the pandemic is having on our community. And so we've tried to really be active, being a respected voice for those who are underserved. And we are trying to just be relevant, especially for our students who are underrepresented minorities entering healthcare professions, especially in medicine. And so now we are starting a brand new program that will really be tailored to the social and emotional support. Our mission really is to create a community of interdisciplinary social and emotional support for the next generation of Black doctors. And so some people's like, well, what does that mean? Like what's that all about? So first, the community aspect of it. In the United States, doctors who are from underrepresented minority populations make up 6% of the population of healthcare professionals. In contrast, they make up 31.5% of the population. And this has been 40 years in the making of trying to figure out how do we break barriers and how do we become more inclusive to allow more representation in the workforce. And we still have a long way to go. And so with that in mind, we're finding that those who are on that pathway to become healthcare professionals can feel isolated at different points of that journey because they are that minority. They are that 1% of the medical class, medical school class, or the handful of residents, in the program. And so this program, we're hoping will provide an opportunity just to really let your hair down, talk about the things that, are really challenging and the things that you're finding success in, finding ways and hacks to approach certain topics, whether it's preparing for your residency or interviews, or we did one just about personal statements. So it's just one of those things where we want to build that community that is a safe space, as a nurturing space, which is part of our mission. And then the idea of interdisciplinary support. Grace, do you want to kind of help us understand what that part of our mission means, not mission for this program or goals for this program?
Yes. For example, I'm a pharmacy student, and as she mentioned, Austin's Black Physician Association focuses on doctors and physicians specifically. But as a future healthcare professional myself, I believe that there's so much importance in working as a team and, providing opportunities for all of us. So maybe my experiences may come from pharmacy, but they can help a medical student in the future, or a PA student, or a dental student. And so we really want to encourage anybody and everybody pursuing any type of healthcare professional field to gain knowledge from everything that we have to say, to tap into it, and to share with others, because it's not only one of us. When we step in the field, it's literally all of us. So our voices hope to touch all the fields.
Definitely, definitely. And then the last part about the social and emotional support, and it's just that idea that, you know, in healthcare and medicine, there's just a new revived emphasis on really addressing the humanity in medicine. So for so long, we've been trained and primed to, you know, not show vulnerability, right? To always have everything and be that perfectionist that no human can really ever be. And so what we're trying to just encourage is how do we develop the emotional intelligence of our future healthcare providers, especially when they're going to be facing certain adversities, you know, as an underrepresented representative of, you know, of the African American group. And so it's just one of those things where we want this to be a safe space, a community, working together in a collaborative form, you know, across disciplines, but really trying to help us become that well-rounded, empathic first physician. Okay. Now, the why. I'm gonna kind of have Grace start this part in terms of like, why are you excited about being part of Pathways to Success?
I am overwhelmed with joy to be a part of Pathways.
She's like, joy.
Yes.
Grace and joy. Her name is Grace, and then overwhelmed with joy.
Exactly, because I love to say, honestly, service is my passion. And for me, mentorship is the biggest way that I, as a future healthcare professional, can give back. And so with Pathways for Success, it's allowing us to give the tips and the tricks that we've experienced in our own journey. It's allowing us to be vulnerable and let other people know what it was like for us and how it can be for them. And my biggest thing is I don't want my journey and the mistakes that I made for somebody else to make the same mistakes when it can be prevented. You can be in professional school and, you know, and tap into your self-care intentionally. You can still have the fun you need. You don't have to struggle alone with your emotions, with the learning process, everything and all. So my goal is literally just to provide, pass on that knowledge, and hopefully others who hear it can pass it along, so forth and so on. And then we have the next generation of healthcare providers that are willing to pass on their mentorship skills as well and build each other up. And so that's my main why. Service through networking.
That's awesome. Thank you. I have many stories that some of you will come to find out between Grace and I on how we have collaborated over the past almost 3 years now. So I can't wait to share that. She's a phenomenal human being. My why is just rooted in the idea that everyone needs a positive adult role model, but in the healthcare profession, every Black healthcare profession needs someone who can understand what they're going through. Now, it's not to knock anyone who has mentored, you know, someone across races or ethnicities. You know, there's so many people that have supported me along my journey who did not look like me, but there was something that to be said about being able to honor my background, my foundation, you know, and I think we're just trying to encourage that moving forward. In addition, another why for me is that there aren't that many Black doctors out there. And so if we're having the next generation looking to a small pool of Black physicians to support them, you know, that's going to be hard to come by. You know, we have, you know, students looking for shadowing opportunities that are really hard to come by because there aren't that many of us to be able to offer those chances to learn. So this pathway to success and this format is one of our ways to try to widen our reach so that, you know, for those who aren't able to find a Black doc in their local area or near their region or doesn't have any personal relationship with one just yet, hopefully you'll be able to connect with us soon. But if you don't have one yet, at least start here. so that, some of the things that we'll be talking about, and Grace is going to tell us about what to expect, but some of the things we'll be talking about are kind of conversations that, we have with our mentors one-on-one. And, like I said, Grace and I have had wonderful conversations about career planning and emotional, balance, work-life balance, and the myth thereof, and just so many things that it'd be great to just kick back wherever you are, if you're watching, if you're listening, hang out with us for a few minutes to kind of get a sense, to feel like you're able to get that support and nurturing that will help you on your career. Okay, so on to what to expect. Grace, take it away.
There are so many things in store, and we're excited to have you follow us on this journey. The things we'll talk about, I'll list a couple, but this may not be all, with support and love. And if you guys love it, we can continue. We hope to discuss first things first, like things about interviewing and preparing for interviews. So all of us healthcare professional students, one way or another, there's an interview, whether it's for undergrad, whether it's for graduate school, whether it's for the dream job, there's so many different types of interview styles. And we want to tap into that so that you are prepared. You don't come in with your eyes wide like a deer. You are prepared with the skill set to stand out and to be selected. So we'll discuss virtually and in-person interviews as well. There's always, after interviews, making the right choice, the pros and the cons, making that list, being intentional about why a program is great, or why an institution is great, or facility is right for you, considering all the different aspects, and exploring why you are that prized possession at that place or facility, and making sure, you dot every I, cross every T when making this choice, because it is a huge decision. We also want to talk about networking and communication. The world of medicine is small. That is just a statement in its own. The person you meet today might be your boss tomorrow, and vice versa.
Yes, that's so true on so many levels. So many levels.
Even me, myself, meeting Dr. Chinwe years ago, I never in a million years would think, we would cross paths to the extent we've crossed paths today. She's medicine and I'm pharmacy, but the networking doesn't stop. And so we want to equip you with the proper tools to take networking by the horns. I'm a Longhorn, so we say take everything by the horns. But always making sure you're prepared and ready. Is that elevator pitch ready? Or so many different things to make sure that you are being intentional when you're meeting other healthcare professionals, or anybody else for that matter. And we also want to dive deeper into the MCAT. There's so many components, and MCAT, PCAT, the DAT, the list goes on and on, but they all take serious dedication. And why sometimes people say, why work harder when you can work smarter? So we want to give you the tools, the ability, specifically for like cars and writing essays. People think about the MCAT and they think, okay, yeah, the math section, the physics, I got it. But sometimes you got to write too, and put all that energy and effort into that. So we also want to tackle some things about the MCAT and preparing people for every stage possible. So those are just a few of the topics that we will discuss.
Definitely. And just to touch on that, because part of what we're going to do is really be honest and real through these talks. And so bear with us if we're not following a certain perfect format that you may be used to, but we're really just going to have this be a conversation. And something that you mentioned about the CARS section of the MCAT, which is the essay writing portion. Now, one mentor shared that instead of thinking that only healthcare professionals are the ones that need to either review your essays or personal statements, or review your work, you need to think outside the box and connect with others in different disciplines. So, you need to make a friend with someone in the English department so that they can be able to inform your writing. So much of medicine now requires a diverse skill set, from public speaking, media presentation, being an advocate, understanding policy. There's so many parts of a physician that is not just about the biological and the sciences. There's so many soft sciences that really make up, how the physician engages with their patients. You can't learn that in a textbook. You might need to learn it from someone who is in the humanities department, so that's when we say interdisciplinary kind of support, that's what we mean here. So we may not always only have doctors, on this side, because we're trying to, again, look at the physician's holistic development, so that they're able to care for other humans, and reflect on their humanity, and understanding that, no one is perfect. We are all striving to do our best. But at the end of the day, it's all about, working towards healing for all parties involved. So thanks for mentioning that, because that kind of hits to another reason why we're doing this. So with that, we know that we have not necessarily touched on all the different topics that may be either a challenge for you, or something that you had questions about, or that you're seeking support with. So we invite you to reach out to us through info@austinbpa.com. Again, that's info@austinbpa.com. And let us know, what topics would you like to see us discuss on Pathways to Success, and our other programming as well too. If you could get some mentorship on a particular subject matter, what would that be? And so that we can really be able to meet the needs of our community. What else would we like them to do, Grace?
We would like, if you're thinking of a guest speaker that could possibly come out and share their expertise, or share their experiences, be vulnerable and authentic and real about their journey, we would love to have them. Nobody's too small, nobody's too big. Everybody's experience is validated on Pathways to Success.
Awesome. And also, if you would like to partner with us, let us know, so that we can continue programs like this, because it does take time, does take some funds to be able to put and organize resources that will really improve the community as a whole. So please reach out to us as well too. We're always appreciative of our sponsors. So definitely also contact us for that. Let's see here. Anything else I'm missing, Grace?
I think you've hit everything, but we are excited for what is in store.
We're gonna have some jokes. We already have some guests lined up. And really, it's really, how YouTube has all these like hacks. Like, I'm telling you, you can find how to do anything on YouTube. And in my days, I'm like, where was that? Like, anything that I was trying to do, first of all, there was no internet, when we were younger. Yeah, that's a whole nother story. But just the idea that, no one can ever say, oh, I don't know how to. If you really want to, and you're really putting the effort into practice, you can really find it. So, we're hoping to be that for you as it relates to your development as a well-rounded, empathic, and just authentic physician. So let's be that hack for you, and join us on Pathways to Success.